The FIFA World Cup 2026 has just delivered one of the most dramatic match days of the entire tournament so far. Portugal stepped onto the pitch carrying the hopes of millions. England faced one of their biggest tests. Colombia looked to prove why many consider them a dark horse. And across multiple stadiums, fans witnessed moments that nobody saw coming. There were stunning goals. There were emotional celebrations. There were controversial decisions. And there were performances that completely changed the conversation around this World Cup. But one match stood above the rest. Portugal versus DR Congo. A match that many expected Portugal to control from start to finish. Instead, it became one of the most talked about games of the tournament. The atmosphere inside the stadium was electric long before kickoff. Every touch from Portugal's stars generated massive reactions from the crowd. Every attack felt dangerous. And when Portugal finally found their rhythm, the stadium erupted. The Portuguese attack moved with confidence, creativity, and precision. The passing combinations were sharp. The movement off the ball was relentless. But what shocked many fans was DR Congo's response. Rather than sitting back and defending for 90 minutes, they attacked whenever opportunities appeared. They played without fear. Every counterattack sent waves of anxiety through Portuguese supporters. Every defensive mistake created tension. And suddenly, a match expected to be straightforward became a battle. The crowd could feel it. The players could feel it. And millions watching around the world could feel it too. Then came the moment everyone will remember. A piece of brilliance. A goal that instantly exploded across social media. Fans jumped from their seats. Commentators lost their voices. And the celebration became one of the images of the tournament so far. But that was only the beginning of an unforgettable match day. While Portugal and DR Congo were producing drama, another massive showdown was unfolding. England versus Croatia. A fixture that instantly brought back memories of previous international battles. The tension before kickoff was unbelievable. England entered the match carrying enormous expectations. Supporters believed this team had the talent to go all the way. Croatia, meanwhile, arrived with something equally dangerous: experience. From the opening whistle, neither side wanted to make a mistake. Every tackle felt heavier. Every challenge felt personal. Every attack carried enormous consequences. The match quickly transformed into a tactical war. England pushed forward with speed and intensity, trying to overwhelm Croatia's defensive structure. Croatia responded with composure. They slowed the tempo. They controlled possession. And they forced England to remain patient. The crowd reacted to every near miss. One moment, English supporters were celebrating what looked like a certain goal. Seconds later, Croatia produced a defensive recovery that left everyone stunned. Then came one of the most controversial moments of the night. A challenge inside the penalty area immediately divided opinion. Players surrounded the referee. Fans inside the stadium screamed for a decision. Social media exploded within seconds. Some believed it was a clear penalty. Others insisted there was minimal contact. The replay only made the debate bigger. Even now, fans are still arguing about it. But controversy wasn't the only story. The emotional side of football appeared once again. Several Croatian players could be seen encouraging teammates after difficult moments, while England's leaders continuously pushed their squad forward. The pressure was immense. Nobody wanted to be responsible for a costly mistake. And that's what made every minute feel like a knockout match. Meanwhile, another story was developing that very few people expected. Austria versus Jordan. Many fans viewed it as a routine fixture. They were wrong. Jordan arrived with confidence and absolutely refused to be intimidated. Every defensive block was celebrated like a goal. Every successful attack generated incredible energy from their supporters. Austria may have entered as favorites, but Jordan played with the heart of a team that believed anything was possible. And in the World Cup, belief can be just as dangerous as talent. As the match continued, the tension kept growing. The underdogs were fighting. The favorites were feeling pressure. And everyone watching began asking the same question: could another World Cup shock be on the way? If Austria versus Jordan showed the fighting spirit of an underdog, Uzbekistan versus Colombia delivered something completely different: pure unpredictability. Coming into the match, many fans expected Colombia to dominate. After all, Colombia possessed the bigger reputation, more international experience, and one of the most exciting squads in the tournament. But World Cups are never decided on paper. From the very first minutes, Uzbekistan showed exactly why they had earned their place on football's biggest stage. They pressed aggressively. They challenged every ball. And most importantly, they played with absolutely no fear. The Colombian supporters expected control. Instead, they found themselves watching a match that became more complicated with every passing minute. Each Uzbek attack increased the pressure. Each dangerous chance silenced sections of the stadium. And suddenly, Colombia realized they were involved in a genuine battle. One of the most unbelievable moments came when a stunning attacking move nearly produced one of the goals of the tournament. The crowd was already celebrating. Players were already preparing to react. But somehow, the chance didn't end up in the net. Even the commentators couldn't believe what they had witnessed. The replay looked impossible. Fans online immediately started calling it one of the biggest missed opportunities of the World Cup so far. Yet Colombia continued pushing forward. Their creativity eventually began creating dangerous openings. The technical quality of their attack started shining through. And whenever Colombia accelerated the pace, the entire stadium came alive. The audience reaction was incredible. Every dribble generated excitement. Every shot created anticipation. Every save produced thunderous applause. This wasn't just another group stage match anymore. It had become one of the most entertaining spectacles of the tournament. But while Colombia and Uzbekistan were creating headlines, another fascinating story was unfolding between Ghana and Panama. A match that many casual fans overlooked before kickoff. A decision they would quickly regret, because both teams entered the pitch with the same mentality: attack, compete, fight for every point, and leave everything on the field. The result was chaos, fast transitions, physical battles, dangerous chances, and an atmosphere that became more intense with every minute. Players were sprinting until exhaustion. Coaches were constantly shouting instructions. Supporters could barely stay in their seats. The passion was impossible to ignore. And by the end of the match, fans around the world realized they had witnessed one of the most entertaining contests of the entire group stage. Not because of reputation, not because of star power, but because both teams played with everything they had. As the dust began to settle on this incredible matchday, the biggest talking points were no longer just the results. It was the moments that made fans laugh, the moments that made fans scream, and the moments that left entire stadiums completely speechless. Across all 5 matches, emotions were running at their highest levels. In Portugal's match, supporters celebrated every attack as if it were a winning goal. The connection between the players and the crowd created an atmosphere that felt more like a knockout game than a group stage fixture. Every time Portugal moved forward, thousands of fans rose from their seats. Every dangerous chance generated a wave of noise that shook the stadium. And when the breakthrough moments arrived, the celebrations were unforgettable. But not every emotion was positive. Several players across the matchday experienced heartbreaking moments, missed opportunities, defensive mistakes, chances that could have changed everything. You could see the disappointment immediately. Some players dropped to the ground. Others stared into the distance, replaying the moment in their minds. Because in the World Cup, opportunities don't always come twice. Meanwhile, England versus Croatia continued generating headlines long after the final whistle. The controversial decisions became one of the biggest topics in world football. Former players debated them. Analysts replayed them. Fans argued about them across social media. Some believed the referee got everything right. Others were convinced crucial mistakes had been made. No matter which side people supported, one thing was certain: the conversation wasn't ending anytime soon. Then came one of the most emotional scenes of the day. After one of the matches, players from opposing teams exchanged shirts, embraced each other, and shared a moment of respect that reminded everyone what the World Cup is truly about: competition, passion, and respect. It was a powerful reminder that beyond the goals, trophies, and headlines, football still has the ability to unite people from completely different parts of the world. At the same time, fans witnessed unbelievable individual performances. Goalkeepers producing impossible saves, defenders making last-second clearances, midfielders controlling entire matches, and forwards creating moments of magic out of absolutely nothing. Some players entered this matchday as unknown names. They left it as heroes. Millions of fans who had never heard of them before were suddenly searching for highlights, statistics, and interviews. That's the beauty of the World Cup. Every 4 years, or in this historic expanded tournament, new stars are born. And based on what we've seen so far, several future legends may be announcing themselves right now. The biggest surprise: nobody knows what will happen next. The favorites are vulnerable. The underdogs are fearless. And every match seems capable of producing another unforgettable chapter. And now, after witnessing Portugal versus DR Congo, England versus Croatia, Austria versus Jordan, Uzbekistan versus Colombia, and Ghana versus Panama, one thing has become impossible to ignore. This World Cup is delivering drama at a level very few people expected. The giants are being tested. The underdogs are refusing to surrender. And every match feels like it could produce the next viral moment that football fans will remember for years. We've seen breathtaking attacking football. We've seen defensive masterclasses. We've seen controversial decisions that split the football world. And we've seen emotional moments that reminded everyone why the World Cup remains the biggest stage in sports. But perhaps the most unbelievable part is how quickly everything can change. One goal can transform a team's entire tournament. One mistake can create a national heartbreak. One magical moment can turn an unknown player into a global star overnight. That's exactly what makes this competition so special. Every match writes a new story. Every player carries a dream. And every fan experiences the highs and lows together. Looking ahead, the pressure will only increase. The next round of fixtures will bring even bigger stakes. The margin for error will become smaller. And the intensity will reach another level. Some teams will rise. Some teams will fall. And some moments will become part of World Cup history forever. But now the spotlight turns to you. Which match impressed you the most? Which player delivered the best performance? What was the most shocking moment of this matchday? And after everything you've seen so far, which team do you believe has the best chance of winning the FIFA World Cup 2026?